Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me Saira Mustafa with the evening news. The headlines. Lok Sabha passes Assisted Reproductive Technology Regulation Bill 2020. Rajya Sabha witnesses multiple adjournments on the issue of 12 suspended opposition members of Parliament. Incidents of infiltration and terrorist attacks decreased significantly in Jammu and Kashmir since 2018, says Minister of State for Home Affairs in the Rajya Sabha. DGCA says, in view of evolving situation due to new COVID variant, decision to resume commercial international flights to be notified later. National Human Rights Commission issues notice to Bihar government over reported board staff cataract surgeries at a Muzaffarpur government hospital. In badminton, Kidambi Srikanth and PV Sindhu win the singles opening matches in the BWF World Tour Finals in Bali. And in Junior Hockey World Cup, the quarterfinal match between India and Belgium underway in Bhubaneswar. Germany, Argentina and France enter the Final Four. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the fresh corona variants is also causing concern. In this situation, appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and also help others get vaccinated. Please follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact the national helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news. The Lok Sabha passed the Assisted Reproductive Technology Regulation Bill 2020 after detailed discussion. It was moved by Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia in the post-lunch session. The minister said the bill is for the regulation and supervision of assisted reproductive technology, ART clinics and ART banks. He said the bill would help prevent misuse of the technology and ensure safe and ethical ART practices. Mr. Karthi P. Chidambaram of the Congress, who kick-started the discussion, charged that it excludes some sections of the society like the LGBTQ and the single persons from availing the benefits of the assisted reproduction technology. He said the new bill is a part of Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2019, which is yet to be passed by the Upper House. Rita Bahuguna Joshi of the BJP said, assisted reproduction has become a thriving business and a regulation is required, adding the bill is aimed at regulating it. She said it took 13 long years since initiating the process of bringing such a bill and urged the House to pass the legislation at the earliest.
ये पूरा जो बिल आया है, ये एक बहुत ही पारदर्शिता को लाते हुए, शोषणवादी व्यवस्था को समाप्त करते हुए, एक कुशल और बहुत ही स्पेशलाइज्ड एक माध्यम से लोगों को संतान देने के लिए है और इसलिए मैं इस बिल के पक्ष में खड़ी हूं और मैं चाहती हूं कि बिल आप पास करें और जो हम लोगों ने सुझाव सरकारों को हमने दिए हैं, उन सुझावों को नियमों के अंदर लाकर उसका प्रावधान करें.
Dr. Hina V. Gavit of the BJP highlighted the merits of the bill, saying it seeks to regulate the assisted reproduction sector. She said sex selection at all the phases of assisted reproduction is strictly banned under the bill, adding an ART registry has been envisaged, providing a legal framework for the whole sector. She also said the rights and duties of a child born out of the ART will be the same as that of a child who is born to a parent conventionally. The DMK opposed the bill, saying the regulatory boards been envisaged under the bill does not mandate competent medical experts to be the members. Dr. Kakoli Ghosh Dostidar of the AITC opposed the bill, saying if the regulatory boards as mandated in the bill are not having properly trained ART experts as members, both the couples seeking to help of assisted reproduction and the medical practitioners dealing with it will be rendered vulnerable to punitive action, as the process involving the technology is highly complex. Dr. Venkata Satyavati of the YSR Congress Party and Dr. Alok Kumar Suman of the JDU supported the bill. Sangrita Azad of the BSP hailed the bill as a ray of hope for the couples seeking ART, but asked to make it legal for single parents also to avail it. Supriya Sule of the NCP, while welcoming the bill, asked to integrate both the Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2019 and the present bill. Anubhav Mohanty of the BJD said the bill allows only a close relative of a person to be the surrogate mother, though it does not define who is a close relative. He said commercial surrogacy need not be viewed as illegal. Meanwhile, N.K. Premchandran of the RSP brought a point of order saying the bill is a part of Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2019 and asked how the new bill can be taken up by the lower house when the main bill is pending in the Rajya Sabha. Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia replied that the new bill has been moved in the Lok Sabha on the recommendation of the upper house panel, as both the bills were sought to be taken up together for consideration there, as both are interdependent. Therefore, he said passing the new bill is essential for the Rajya Sabha to consider them for passing.
In the morning when the Lok Sabha assembled for the third day today, TRS members raised slogans in the well, leading the chair to adjourn the House till noon after about half an hour of the question hour. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav told the House during the question hour that 46,776 route kilometres of the broad gauge rail lines out of the total of 64,689 route kilometres have been electrified as on 1st November this year. He said it amounts to 72% of the network, adding works are in full steam to electrify the whole length of the network. He said last year alone 6,000 route kilometres have been taken up for electrification. To another question, he said the Railways Ministry is procuring containers from Indian companies alone. He said there is no proposal to establish any container manufacturing facility by the railways as of now. Earlier, the Congress and the DMK members staged a walkout from the House for a brief while in support of the demand to revoke the suspension of the 12 opposition Rajya Sabha members. However, they returned to the House after a while and participated in the discussions. The TRS members in the post-lunch session sat on the floor in the well of the House, pressing for their demands. Later, when the bill was taken up for passing, they staged a walkout. Meanwhile, the Rajya Sabha witnessed a series of adjournments today over the issue of the suspension of 12 opposition members. Initially, it was adjourned till noon and then till 2 p.m. When the House reassembled at 2 p.m., the Dam Safety Bill 2019 was taken up for consideration and passing. When the Union Minister of Jal Shakti, Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, started speaking on the bill, the opposition members, including from Congress, TMC and AAP, started sloganeering. TRS members trooped into the well, raising slogans seeking a bill on MSP. Deputy Chairman Harivansh appealed to the members to allow the House to function, but the opposition members did not pay heed to his appeal. Amid din, the Deputy Chairman adjourned the House till 3 p.m. Earlier, when the House met for the day, opposition members raised the issue of suspension of 12 members. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu said the suspended members have so far not expressed remorse for their unruly conduct, due to which the image of the House has been tarnished. When the proceedings started, the newly elected member to the Rajya Sabha from Kerala, Jose K. Mani, took oath.
The incidents of infiltration and terrorist attacks have decreased significantly in Jammu and Kashmir since 2018. In a written reply in the Rajya Sabha today, Minister of State for Home Affairs Nityananda Rai said 417 terrorist incidents happened in 2018, whereas 200 terrorist incidents occurred by November this year. He further said 28 estimated net infiltration have been reported till October this year, in comparison to 143 in 2018. The minister also said 14 terrorists have been apprehended and 165 terrorists have been killed during the last 11 months. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase Hallmark gold jewellery. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India, Jago Grahak Jago.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of multiple projects worth around 18,000 crore rupees in Dehradun on Saturday. The projects aim to improve road infrastructure to make travel smoother and safer, and also increase tourism in the region. National Human Rights Commission has issued a notice to the Bihar government over reported botched-up cataract surgeries resulting in removal of eyes of several patients at a government hospital in Muzaffarpur. The Commission took suo motu cognizance of a media report that the eyes of 6 patients had to be removed due to botched-up cataract surgeries at Sri Krishna Medical College and Hospital, SKMCH, in Muzaffarpur, Bihar, on 22nd November. A press release from the Commission said the doctors may require removing the eyes of about a dozen more patients due to infections after the surgery. The Commission has observed that the contents of the media report, if true, raise a serious issue of human rights violation. The notice issued to the Chief Secretary Bihar has called for a detailed report in the matter.
Director General of Civil Aviation, DGCA, has said that it will notify its decision on the date of resumption of scheduled commercial international passengers airline services to and from India in due course. Recently, the centre has decided to resume scheduled commercial international passenger services from 15 December of this month. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the scheduled international commercial passenger services were suspended by India on the 23rd of March last year. DGCA in a circular said that the situation has been closely watched in view of emergence of new COVID variant. In view of reporting of Omicron, the new variant of COVID-19, the Health Ministry has revised guidelines for international arrivals in India effective from today. The Ministry has mandated submitting 14 days travel details and uploading negative RT-PCR test report on Air Suvidha portal before the journey. The RT-PCR test should have been conducted within 72 hours prior to undertaking the journey.
India's COVID vaccination coverage has crossed the 124 crore 86 lakh mark. Out of the total vaccination, more than 79 crore vaccine doses have been given as the first dose, while over 45 crore 76 lakh doses have been administered as the second dose. The Health Ministry said that more than 71 lakh 55,000 vaccine doses were administered till 7 p.m. today. In our bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta series, Dr. Anupam Prakash, Professor Medicine, Lady Hardinge Medical College, will be with us tonight to answer the queries related to coronavirus. This program can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. Listeners can ask questions to the expert on toll-free number 1800-115767 and on telephone number 011-2331-4444. You can also post your queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by using hashtag AskAIR. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.gov.in and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official.
Delhi government has decided to reduce VAT on petrol to 19.40% from 30%. Petrol price in the city will be reduced by 8 rupees per litre. The new rate will come into effect from midnight today. National Highways Authority of India NHAI has planted around 2 crore 24 lakh plants in the last 5 years along highways. Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari said this in a written reply in Rajya Sabha today. He said to compensate the ecological loss, median and roadside plantation has been carried out either by the contractor as a scope of agreement or through Forest Department as deposit work.
Coal and Mines Minister Prahlad Joshi today informed the Lok Sabha that there is no shortage of coal in the country. Mr. Joshi said due to increased demand of power, less power generation by imported coal-based power plants and some interruption in supply of coal due to heavy rains, the coal stock at power plants depleted to 7.2 million metric tons as on October the 5th this year. In a written reply to the Lok Sabha, the minister said with increased coal supplies, the coal stock has started increasing and has now reached 16.74 million tons, sufficient for 9 days as on 25th of last month. Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution Minister Piyush Goyal has said production of ethanol from rice, maize and wheat available with Food Corporation of India would not affect the food security or per capita availability of food grains. In reply to a question in the Lok Sabha, he said that the country has 253.26 lakh metric tons LMTs of rice and 468.52 LMTs of wheat stocks with FCI and state agencies, which is more than double to the stocking norms. He also said that annual procurement of rice and wheat is also more than the requirement of targeted public distribution system and other welfare schemes to maintain food security. He said ethanol blended with petrol program approved by National Biofuel Coordination Committee would increase the income of farmers and reduce imports of crude oil and pollution.
Government today said 6 COVID-19 positive cases have been reported after screening of 3,476 passengers from 11 international flights from at-risk countries. On the first day of operation of the guidelines for international travellers issued by the Centre's Public Health Response Measures for Control and Management of the new reported variant of COVID-19, A total of 11 international flights landed at various airports of the country, except Lucknow, from midnight to 4 p.m. today. India has joined G20 Troika today. Apart from India, Troika consists of Indonesia and Italy. External Affairs Ministry said India will assume the G20 presidency in December 2022 from Indonesia and will convene the G20 Leaders Summit for the first time in the country in 2023. It said India will work closely with Indonesia and Italy to ensure consistency and continuity of G20's agenda as a Troika member. Indonesia has assumed the G20 presidency today and will convene various G20 meetings throughout the year, culminating with the G20 Leaders Summit in October next year under the overall theme of Recover Together, Recover Stronger.
In badminton, Kidambi Srikanth and PV Sindhu have won their opening singles group matches in the ongoing BWF World Tour Finals in Bali, Indonesia. Srikanth defeated Francis Thoma Junior Popov 21-14, 21-16 this morning. PV Sindhu beat Leen Christopher Sen of Denmark 21-14, 21-16. Lakshya Sen entered the second round as his opponent Kento Momota of Japan was retired in the opening match after a few minutes of the start of the day. However, in women's doubles, pair of Ashwini Ponappa and NCQ Reddy lost their first game in Group B. Nai Matsuyama and Chiharu Shida of Japan defeated the Indian duo 21-14, 21-18. In FIH Junior World Cup Hockey, quarter-final match between India and Belgium is currently underway. Earlier in other quarter-finals played today at Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar, Germany beat Spain by 3-1 in shootout after levelling score 2-2. Netherlands lost to Argentina by 1-2. France defeated Malaysia by 4-0. All India Radio will broadcast the commentary live on the quarter-final match of FIH Junior World Cup Hockey between India and Belgium from 7:25 p.m. to 8:55 p.m. or till the end of the match. It will also be available with RN Support DSC 10.
And now news from the business world.
BSE Sensex appreciated by 620 points to trade at 57,685. NSE Nifty also surged 184 points to trade at 17,167. In the foreign exchange market, the rupee appreciated by 26 paise to close at 74 rupees and 91 paise against the US dollar. Gold prices gained 90 rupees. The precious metal was trading at 47,895 rupees per 10 grams. Silver also gained 110 rupees to 61,700 rupees per kilogram. And in intraday trade, Brent crude was trading around $72.50 per barrel. Arjun Chaudhary for AIR News.
The Hornbill Festival, the biggest cultural extravaganza of Nagaland, kicked off with colourful rendition of traditional music, dances and contemporary in one roof at Naga Heritage Village, Kisama this evening. Addressing the opening ceremony, Governor of Assam and Nagaland, Professor Jagdish Mukhi said, Nagaland has a rich culture, tradition and customs which are unique. The dance and music are well known even outside the country. He said the Government of India, under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Modi, is committed to ensuring development of the region. Chief Minister Mr. Nephew Rio said the Hornbill Festival continues to contribute immensely in enhancing the tourism brand of Nagaland and its people as it gathers strength with every edition.
This festival alone creates thousands of employment avenue in multiple sectors and provide opportunities to the locals. The success of the event has positively impacted the local economy, and the benefits of tourism economy is beginning to reach the grassroots through our policy of land of festival.
And now a review of the proceedings in Parliament today. First from the Lok Sabha, right is Kumar Rakesh of the PTI. Lok Sabha proceedings returned to normalcy today after a brief adjournment as the House passed the Assisted Reproductive Technology Regulation Bill 2020 in the post-lunch session. The question hour, however, could not proceed beyond half an hour as Speaker Om Birla adjourned the House after expressing his anger at the TRS members over the continued protests in the well of the House over farmers' issues. This is the third consecutive day that the question hour was disrupted since the winter session of Parliament commenced on Monday. Members of the TRS shouted slogans and displayed placards over farmers' issues in the well. Speaker Om Birla told them it was not the right thing to do and emphasized that the question hour was important. When a senior member is speaking, you people are protesting. What kind of practice are you trying to bring into the House? A peeved Birla asked the protesting members. The Speaker also urged all the members to make efforts to ensure that such wrong behaviour and practices be stopped in the House. 4 questions and the supplementaries were taken up during the question hour, which went on for nearly half an hour. As the protest by the members of TRS continued, Birla adjourned the proceedings till noon. Later during the 0 hour, BJP member Nishikant Dubey urged the centre to bring a law soon to implement the Uniform Civil Code in the country. Even after 75 years of independence, India has not been able to bring in a Uniform Civil Code, he said. Congress MP from Kerala Shashi Tharoor raised the issue of non-subsidized kerosene given to the southern state through the public distribution system. He urged the Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas to increase the allocation of non-subsidized PDS kerosene to Kerala to help the fishermen community. In the House, the Joint Committee of Parliament examining the Personal Data Protection Bill was given an extension till the last week of the ongoing winter session to submit its report. The bill seeking to provide for the protection of personal data of individuals and establish a data protection authority for the same was brought in Parliament in 2019 and was referred to the Joint Committee for further scrutiny on the demand of the opposition members. P.P. Chaudhary of the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party moved a motion seeking the extension up to the last week of winter session of Parliament for the 30-member panel to submit his report. The ongoing session ends on December 23rd. This is for the 6th time the committee's tenure has been extended. The Personal Data Protection Bill seeks to regulate the use of individuals' data by the government and private companies. The Joint Committee of Parliament on the Personal Data Protection Bill 2019 had last month adopted the report on the bill, which provided the government with powers to give exemptions to its probe agencies from the provisions of the Act, a move opposed by opposition MPs who filed their dissent notes. Opposition leaders have been opposing certain provisions of the bill, including giving unbridled powers to the state and its agencies for use of personal data.
The Assisted Reproductive Technology Regulation Bill 2020 was introduced in the Lok Sabha by Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia yesterday. He moved the bill for consideration and passing today. After a detailed discussion, it was passed. It seeks regulation and supervision of the Assisted Reproductive Technology Clinics and the Assisted Reproductive Technology Banks. It also provides for measures for prevention of misuse, safe and ethical practice of assisted reproductive technology services and related matters. Moving the Assisted Reproductive Technology Regulation Bill, which proposes establishment of a national registry and registration authority for all clinics and medical professionals serving in the field, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia noted the bill was tabled in Parliament in September 2020 and the lower house referred it to the Standing Committee. Many suggestions came from the Standing Committee and the government has considered those recommendations, he said. The Standing Committee report on the bill was submitted in March this year. Many of the assisted reproduction technology clinics have been running in the country without regulation. A need was felt for their regulation as it has implications on the health of those who undergo the procedure, he said. Lok Sabha passed the Assisted Reproductive Regulation Bill 2020 with a voice vote while negating amendments moved by opposition members.
And now review of the proceedings in the Rajya Sabha. Writer is Rajesh Ahuja of the UNI. The issue of suspension of 12 opposition MPs continued to create a storm in the Rajya Sabha for the third day today into winter session of Parliament, with the members of the opposition disrupting proceedings of the House in protest against the action. Proceedings of the Rajya Sabha began today with the oath of affirmation of Jose K. Mani of Kerala. The oath of affirmation was followed by the laying of papers on the floor of the House. Afterwards, members of the opposition parties started raising demands of revocation of suspension of 12 opposition MPs over unruly behaviour in the monsoon session of Parliament. Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu urged the members to allow the proceedings of the House, but members did not pay heed. Some of the opposition members entered the well of the House raising slogans. Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu lamented that there is no remorse among the suspended members over the unruly behaviour during the previous session. Terming the behaviour of the opposition members unparliamentary and undemocratic, the chairman said the members have insulted the parliamentary system. He said they want to disrupt the 0 hour and the question hour, and the entire country is watching their conduct. As the sloganeering continued, the chairman adjourned the House till 12 hours. When the House reassembled, leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, rose to raise the issue of the suspension of 12 opposition MPs. Mr. Kharge said he wanted to bring attention to grievances of the members. However, Deputy Chairman Harivansh disallowed him, saying that he would only allow issues related to the question hour. Afterwards, members of the opposition parties, including Congress, DMK and the TRS, trooped into the well of the House. With the uproar continued, the Deputy Chairman adjourned the House till 1400 hours. When the House reassembled at 1400 hours, the Leader of the Opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, again raised the issue of the suspension of the opposition MPs. Deputy Chairman Harivansh disallowed him. It was followed by an uproar by members of the opposition parties.
Amid the uproar, Deputy Chairman Harivansh asked Jal Shakti Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat to move the Dam Safety Bill 2019 for consideration. The bill was moved for consideration amid noisy scenes. The bill aims to provide a robust legal and institutional framework under central and state governments on the safety of dams. It envisages prevention and mitigation of dam failure-related disasters through proper surveillance, inspection, operation and maintenance of all dams in the country. The bill provides for the constitution of a National Committee on Dam Safety, NCDS, to evolve the dam safety policies and recommend necessary regulations. NCDS is proposed to be chaired by Chairman CWC. It provides for the establishment of National Dam Safety Authority, NDSA, as a regulatory body to implement the policy, guidelines and standards for dam safety in the country. The bill also provides for the constitution of State Committees on Dam Safety by state governments to ensure proper surveillance, inspection, operation and maintenance of all specified dams in the state. Speaking on the bill, the Minister highlighted the importance of water in the lives of people. He said India has more than 5,000 dams and many of them are more than 25 years old. While the Minister was speaking, opposition parties continued their protest. As noisy scenes continued, the Deputy Chairman adjourned the House till 1500 hours. When the House reassembled at 1500 hours, the presiding officer, Bhuvaneshwar Kalita, asked the members to let the Minister complete his speech on the Dam Safety Bill. After that, he can call the Leader of the Opposition to speak. He appealed to the members to allow the House to function, but the protesting members did not relent and started sloganeering. Amid the uproar, the Chair adjourned the House for the day. This is the third day in succession that the opposition has disrupted proceedings of the upper house over the issue of the suspension of opposition MPs. That's all in Parliament Review.
Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar has said that the government has created a network of 722 Krishi Vigyan Kendras for dissemination of knowledge and information about modern technology. In a written reply to the question in the Lok Sabha, Mr. Tomar said, government has taken various steps to modernizing agriculture for sustainable growth in agriculture sector. He said the ministry has taken initiative for promotion of agricultural mechanization for in-situ management of crop residue in the states of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and the National Capital Territory of Delhi. Centre is monitoring the wholesale and retail prices of 22 essential food commodities on a daily basis from 179 price monitoring centres set up by the state governments and Union Territories Administration. Minister of State for Consumer Affairs Ashwini Kumar Chaubey said this in a written reply to a question in the Lok Sabha today. The daily prices and price trends are analysed on real-time basis for requisite policy interventions. And now, before I end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Lok Sabha passes Assisted Reproductive Technology Regulation Bill 2020. Rajya Sabha witnesses multiple adjournments on the issue of 12 suspended opposition members of Parliament. Incidents of infiltration and terrorist attacks decreased significantly in Jammu and Kashmir since 2018, says Minister of State for Home Affairs in the Rajya Sabha. DGCA says, in view of evolving situation due to new COVID variant, decision to resume commercial international flights to be notified later. National Human Rights Commission issues notice to Bihar government over reported botched-up cataract surgeries at Muzaffarpur Government Hospital. In badminton, Kidambi Srikanth and PV Sindhu win the singles opening matches in the BWF World Tour Finals in Bali. And in the Junior Hockey World Cup, the quarterfinal match between India and Belgium underway in Bhubaneswar. Germany, Argentina and France enter the Final Four. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.